Sometimes I read old things and the main issue, especially with like a genre, is a lot of times the main girl has severe I'm not like other girls.
Yeah,
syndrome.
I mean everything has
like, well, she's just ugly and fat. Kind of thing.
God forbid.
Like, just really a product of its time. And you're like, oh right, this was 2005, so this was okay.
One of my favorite books as a kid was Gail Carson Levine, who wrote Ella Enchanted. Mm-hmm. She also wrote a book called Fairest, which was like a kind of a Snow White retelling. The like main problem that the protagonist has is that they think she's maybe, spoiler alert guys, for a book that was written in like 2006, is that she is maybe part gnome, is like what's discovered by the end. She has like some gnome in her bloodline, and because of that,
like a garden gnome.
No, they're like, so in this, instead of like dwarves, they're like gnomes, so they're bigger. They're like right. Big and what? They're almost like toad men, like big toad men.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
No. No hats are being worn.
Okay.
And they like live underground in these like beautiful caves.
Okay.
Anyway, her whole thing is like she's fat and taller than everyone.
Yeah.
She's got Snow White coloring, but then she's like fucking huge. She's just like, well, no one thinks I'm beautiful, and so that's fine. And she's also like,
and you know, she's probably only like a size 8.
Probably. And then the prince is like, well, I like you. Like, the prince is just, like, into big girls. Like, it's the, like, plot point. I mean, it ultimately was positive. And then they were just like, you're not fat. You're just part gnome at the end.
Thank God.
Thank God. So, whew, we solved that one, guys. And it was, like, that she dressed ugly. And then at the end, she's like, oh, turns out I look really good in gem tones because I'm part gnome. I'm making this book sound really bad. It's actually really sweet, and it's only, like, 250 pages, and I recommend it. And Gail Carson Levine's a lovely, amazing writer.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to the read-through. Welcome to part 2, the finale of season 1, the second half of Clockwork Princess, book 3 of the Infernal Devices trilogy. We're getting into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Do you want to tell the people the good omen you experienced the other day?
I acquired the full trilogy, which I did not own before, in physical copy, pristine condition.
Yeah, they're like perfect.
I have not stopped thinking though, when I told the girl, this girl was selling the books, and I told her mom, oh, these books were such a huge part of my teenage years. She goes to her daughter and she's like, are you sure you don't want to keep these?
Suddenly they were valuable.
So, girl, I'm Venmoing you right now. The money is actively leaving my bank account. They're mine now.
Yeah.
Sorry if you recall where we left off. Do you recall?
Give me the recap.
So Jem has died.
Right. I know that, like, technically that's true, but we didn't see it, and so I'm feeling sort of like maybe not.
Jem has died enough that
the house is in mourning, and Will is very upset, and his little tattoo faded, right?
Right. He felt the bond break. We also learn about Tessa's parentage, about her mom was a shadow hunter but did not grow up as one, and then her father was in fact,
she had no runes,
a demon, and also she's actually Starkweather's true great-granddaughter by blood.
Right, the racist guy who then was like, ally. Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's where we left off. Now, we are back with Tessa, who, if you remember, she had been kidnapped by Mrs. Black.
This girl's always getting kidnapped.
She was kidnapped and then escaped for a moment by throwing herself off the cliff. Right. Miss Black finds her again.
Right, and her, like, angel, like...
Correct. Her
like
angel
that,
necklace.
Like that meme. Every time you talk about the angel, you know the meme that's, like... It's, like, the guy holding himself and all the arrows are in his back and he's, like, protecting...
Yes.
That's how I picture the angel.
Yes. No,
so, like, soaring out.
That's literally him.
But all that fight training, and she keeps getting kidnapped by the same people.
She has woken up in a silk dressing gown and stuck behind an invisible magic wall. Like, she's in a room, and there's not really doors necessarily, but she is trapped.
So, like, backrooms vibes. All right.
Sure. There's an invisible magic wall that Mortman created. He's there with her. He's like, I can't get through it. I'm also stuck on this side. He's like, I did it so you would feel safe.
What is this
and
guy's
she's
problem?
like, I would feel safer if I weren't here.
Yeah, in a silk dressing gown all of a sudden.
Also that, yeah.
Who changed her into that?
Because she's like, okay, my hair has been washed and I'm in this like silky
Ew.
black bathrobe. So she's
Okay.
like, either it was Mrs. Black, which is horrible, or it was this man, which is worse. He is monologuing a little bit, talking about how his life was so hard. And also, look how I hung up paintings of your parents in this room for you.
Oh.
And also...
He's gonna try to marry her, isn't he?
Well, that's
Again? I just thought he would have given up by now.
No.
After she killed herself the first time.
No, never. He kind of just reveals his whole plan, things that we already know. And also, he explains the necklace. He says that his dad had originally built it for his mom, but he didn't have a chance to give it to her. So the angel, it's like an angel spirit that's inside the necklace, was supposed to be tied to the mom's life, but never had a chance.
Okay.
So the angel inside became tuned to Tessa's life after Mortman gave her mom the necklace as a protective charm while she was pregnant, because she was worried that something was wrong with the pregnancy because her child was half demon, and which she didn't know.
Right.
But she just knew that something was wrong.
Okay.
So at that point, Mortman had kind of finagled himself into their lives. So he was like,
how did the mom die again?
oh gosh.
Is that relevant?
That's back in book 1. I forget how, like, because both of her parents are dead.
Yeah. Is it like important? I guess clearly not. I guess they're just in Victorian
really
England.
don't
Like
remember.
people be dying.
I really don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably not important then, guys.
I think... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so after hearing all of this, she's like, are you expecting me to thank you? And clearly he is, because he's like, well, to show you my sincerity, I re-killed Mrs. Black.
Oh.
She's like, okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Right. Well, so then when Tessa is like, why did you create me? He says, 1, so you can be a special kind of warlock that can get pregnant, so that he can start a new race with her.
Oh my god.
And 2, so that she can shift into his dad, so that he can talk to his dad again. We get...
He said, I would like to fuck you, and I would like you to be my dad.
Right. Yep. We get a really YA moment of you don't know the power of friendship and love. It was very much giving you don't know the highs and lows of high school football.
Amazing. Give it to me.
But he convinces her to fulfill the second request by promising to send the demon drug that he'd stolen to Jem. Because Tessa doesn't know that Jem is dead at this point. So she's like, oh, great. She thinks she's saving Jem in doing this. When she turns into his dad, the conversation...
Okay.
The conversation they have is just for Mortman to get the spell to bind the demon energy to the automatons.
Got it.
She's very quickly like, wait, this isn't a father-son reunion that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, he just needs info.
He was just like, Dad, quick, give me the spell. So, anyway, the Institute crew planned to use Henry's portal that is now up and running. He built it with Magnus.
Okay.
Because he was like, I don't really know how to get to work, but Magnus's magic was able to get it to work.
Where's the portal trying to go again?
To Wales. Because they're like, we're not going to get to Wales in time.
Right.
So they plan to use the portal and also to send a message to the Clave, as in like every Shadowhunter institute in the world, just to inform them of the situation. Be like, this is the situation, the consul knows about it and he's choosing not to do anything. You can come help us if you want, but
Calling all Shadowhunters.
Exactly. Okay. Going above the consul's authority. The Inquisitor, who is below the consul, but he's just another government official. He writes to him.
He writes to the consul.
He writes to the consul and says, you need to take this seriously. And then the consul, in return, fires Charlotte from being head of the Institute, which she knew would happen. When she sent that letter, she was like, yeah, we've probably got like 8 hours before I get a response saying that I'm no longer head of the London Institute. So
is that what the Inquisitor meant? Was he like, take this seriously as in fire her? Was he like, take this seriously as in do something?
No, as in do something. As in do something, and if you don't, I'm gonna expose what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So Will has still been chugging along. He's still on the road. But he's pretty close when he hears screaming in the middle of the night. He had stopped for the night at an inn in a small town. And he comes outside to see it completely destroyed.
The small town.
With tons of people murdered. By the now demonic automatons. Will sees first.
Sorry, he didn't hear that in the night? He just heard like a little bit of screaming and didn't pop out? Okay.
As soon as it woke him up, he went outside.
Okay. So he hears screaming.
He hears screaming and wakes him up, but who knows how much screaming had already been happening before the amount of screaming that woke him up.
Will, all right. I know you're going through it, buddy, but come on.
He sees firsthand that the combination of the demon energy in these automatons means that the Shadowhunter special swords are of no use. Yeah. They just burn to ash immediately. So they would have to use regular swords, which they do have. It's just that if the Shadowhunters don't know that, then that could be an issue.
Okay. Wait, hold on. These things can be killed with regular swords?
Yeah, but Shadowhunters aren't. They would only have like one of those on them versus like 50 other of these special weapons that would just immediately crumble into pieces. They would be more likely to use something completely useless.
Why were they using special swords if a regular sword would work?
Because usually the special swords, the way that they work, they have like runes on them. Because their main thing that they're killing are demons.
Yeah.
So when you kill a demon that's not inside of an automaton, if you
can only kill a demon
with a rune
sword.
It, like, sends them back to
I was like, wait, were they just doing that for no reason?
Because it sends them back to hell.
Okay, but now that they're automatons with demons inside, okay. Sure.
Well, I don't know why that happens, but that is what happens.
I just thought it was like to make a demon that was basically immune to like immortal. But you're saying no, it's just a demon that can be killed in a different way than the way that the Shadowhunters are used to killing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just such a funny problem to have. Like, it's funny that the villain's like plan was like, I'm gonna make it super fucking annoying for you. I'm gonna make it super inconvenient for you to kill these guys.
Yeah.
Not like they are immune to you, they'll never die, there's nothing you can do but try to fend them off. It's like, no.
They're just hard.
I'm gonna make it super expensive for you to replace all your fancy weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, while Tessa has been alone with Mortman, she has been preparing herself to appeal to his good side, to save everyone, even if it meant she had to stay with him forever. Mortman takes her to a village where she sees the demonic automatons doing similar destruction that Will saw. It turns out they were at the same village, they just didn't see each other.
Okay, this is pissing me off. This is like the third time in this book where they've been separated, and then there's like a whole scene where it's like, and then they almost see each other, but then they don't. I have another question.
Okay.
What? At any point is Tessa just like, well, I'm just gonna kill Mortman? Isn't he just a person? He's not like immortal.
He is, but he's always followed around by this one automaton demon that is like a head demon who would kill her instantly, and Mortman being alive is kind of the only thing keeping him from like torturing her.
Okay, but if she's like, I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life with Mortman, wouldn't you rather kill him?
You can't poke too many holes in it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ultimately, you can't poke too many holes in it.
I'm just like, she's not helpless and he's not immortal. Like, she's actually more powerful than him, right? Kind of. I'm sorry. I'm just like, why can't we just kill him? But okay, we should totally just stab Mortman. Whatever.
I mean, she's also 17 and he's a real adult. So I also think that that's not really...
I just think 17-year-old me is actually more likely to kill a man.
That's also true.
Like, remember being 17? Mm-hmm. It's a miracle I made it out with no body count.
Back at the place that she's being held, she rips off her angel necklace and goes to destroy it with a hot fire poker. But the angel...
Because she's like, you're a gift from...
Because she doesn't want this thing protecting her life. Yeah. She's like, I need to be allowed to just perish with the rest of my friends if that's what ends up happening.
Okay.
I don't want to have to be alive with this man while the rest of my friends are killed. The angel that's inside of the necklace comes out in full angelic form and is like,
hey girl,
what are you doing? And then she tells him that I have to destroy you because in you keeping me alive, you keep evil alive, so it can't let her die. Even though she wants to die, it can't let her.
Okay.
It's like I'm physically incapable from...
So then why can't she destroy the necklace? Or even if she destroys the necklace and frees it?
Because it would be with the intention of herself dying.
Okay. So can he kill Mortman?
Well, we'll see. So Will finds Tessa. We finally have a reunion. She's being held in a sort of cave system. Which we don't know until we're in Will's POV and he's going through caves. He comes racing in. It's very sweet, but Tessa is like, why would you think that I would just be kept here with, like, not behind a door? So now Will is stuck behind the magic wall. And she's like,
because he runs in.
He just
and
runs
she's
in.
Chilling there.
And she's like, okay, so happy to see you, but now we're both stuck. Yay.
Yeah.
And he's like, stupid.
Oh my god, are they gonna fuck in the cave?
So they're catching each other up on things, and he has to tell her that Jem died.
Yeah.
So they spend a while just like grieving together over this person that they both loved. And in this grieving process, inevitably comes the feelings discussion.
Ruh-roh.
Where Tessa doesn't say the words "I love you," but she also like absolutely does. But when Will says that he's an awful person for wanting her, when she's Jem's, she's like, "I love him and always will, but my heart is my own and I don't belong to anyone."
Slay. Girl boss.
That being said, just in general, she's not super thinking about having a happily ever after with him. She's thinking about what her future with Mortman could be like, and that this could be her last night before she's either dead or that's her future. Right. She has 2 requests of him. 1, a weapon, since he thinks he's not going to survive the inevitable fight, so she wants to go down with him.
Yeah.
We have a Boadicea mention. Again,
shout out.
Circling back, she'd rather die rather than be Mortman. Her second request is she wants to kiss him one more time before she dies, which they do, and they also they do sleep together.
Slay! Finally.
Afterwards, Tessa wakes.
Is it fade to black?
Yeah.
Tragic.
It's
but
YA.
good for them.
Yeah. So after Tessa wakes up and her angel necklace had been resting on his shoulder.
Okay.
Just from their sleep positions. And when she moves it, he now has a scar/birthmark thing in the shape of a pale white star. On his shoulder. That? So that is a connection to the future series. Like the
Will
main...
you spoil it or no?
There are characters in the main... If you've never read the main series and you're listening... Skip ahead. Press like the 15-second skip because it's gonna... Because the identity of the main guy in the Mortal Instruments, who his actual parentage is like a big thing in the first trilogy.
Uh-huh.
So he is a Herondale, actually. But we don't find that out until book 3.
Okay.
So,
and is it because he also has that birthmark?
Yeah. When he's getting framed for all of this stuff, the like consul of that time sees the birthmark and is like, oh my god, that's like only Herondales have that. So basically like his birthmark, because the angel's still inside the necklace. I think they explain it more in that main series, but it's basically called like the mark of the angel, or like you're kind of protected by the angels in a bigger way.
So he's now maybe also protected by Tessa's necklace in this book?
It doesn't come back up again in this book. I was like, wait, does something happen? But no, it's like in later. It's just a like, if you've read the other series and then you read that, then you would be like, oh my god, the origin of the birthmark.
Understood.
So anyway, the Institute crew move to use the now finished portal, which worked. Nobody got like split in 2 or anything like that. Nobody from the Clave answered Charlotte's call to arms. Nobody did. She's like...
They ghosted her?
Except for 3...
Fucking shadow hunters.
Yeah, except for 3 silent brothers, which...
Well, cops are cowards.
Yeah, well, they say that nobody came because the consul called a council meeting that was legally mandatory.
Okay.
Which they were like, alright. The consul believes that they should all stay in London because he thinks that Mormon is coming to London, and that Charlotte is being dramatic and lying because he doesn't trust Will Herondale.
Because she's a woman, so of course she's lying.
In the council meeting, everyone is fighting about who is right. Mid-fight, the demonic automatons swarm the council, killing the consul.
Yay!
I guess the consul was right that they were going to London, though. In reading that, I was like, this actually doesn't super prove him wrong.
You're right. Well, I guess are there just enough automatons that, like, they're going multiple places? Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they had all gone to help Charlotte, then they wouldn't have been there to get slaughtered, though.
They're not all just corralled in one place.
Yeah.
So, in the caves, Magnus had gone ahead of everyone through the portal to bring gear and weapons to Tessa and Will, and is very amused to find them in bed together. He also very easily removes the invisible wall. So they're free now. As they're getting dressed, Tessa is feeling super guilty about them sleeping together because she loves to slut shame herself. I guess I would feel the same if you found out that your fiance that you were in love with died and then you were like, well, as you were grieving, you
had sex with another man for the first time also.
Yeah, which surprisingly, even though, because in book 1 she makes out with Will and afterwards she's like, this was my first kiss. Remember, she thought about that. She did not. There was none of that.
There was no processing of the...
No,
maybe that would have taken it out of YA territory.
I guess she thought that she was gonna die, so it didn't really matter. Anyway,
all right, Tessa, maybe we take some time to unpack that.
I know. She gets over it, though, when Will is like, well, I'm not sorry.
Okay, cool. Jem would have wanted this.
To be fair, though, like, Will and Jem did have a conversation.
Yeah,
and
true.
she didn't have that conversation with Jem, so Will is feeling freed in a way.
Maybe he should mention that. Maybe he should say, "Don't you worry."
He did tell her that.
I told Jem on his deathbed, "Don't worry, I'm going to take care of your girl," and he said, "You do that."
So while this is happening, the rest of the crew are exploring all of the other caves in that system, and they encounter the demon automatons. It's very much like in Weapons when the dad goes in the basement and he sees...
Spoiler alert for Weapons, guys.
And he sees all of the kids. And
yeah.
they're
just like standing there.
Standing there. That is very much how this is. Except one of them starts to animate and cracks Henry's body like a whip and tosses his now limp body.
Oh, wait, but Henry lives, doesn't he?
Yeah, but his body's been cracked like a whip.
Okay, but not like his neck, just like his back or whatever. Just says, he'll fix it.
Yeah.
He's an inventor. It's fine.
It also kills one of the Silent Brothers with them, so then they all kind of start waking up. Will, since he had luckily already seen that the Shadowhunter swords don't work, he's able to alert everyone right away to not use them and to go for their normal weapons.
Yeah.
As the fight ensues, the hood of one of the Silent Brothers that had joined them is thrown off and is revealed to be Jem.
What did I say, guys? What did I say?
Will is very confused. They're kind of mid-fight. So in the meantime, they're just like, yay, we get to fight together. Yay! Like, we'll deal with this later, but at least, like, my favorite fighting partner is back one last time. Tessa, taken away again.
Is Jem's, like, mouth stitched shut? No. Or okay, so he's just, like, in Silent Brother disguise.
No. He is a Silent Brother. We'll get to it.
They haven't had time to stitch the mouth. Got it.
It's a process that you get later. You don't get it as like an initiate Silent Brother.
Can the unstitched Silent Brothers talk?
Yeah, just telepathically.
But they can't speak.
No, they don't speak.
Because they don't have the ability, or is it a choice?
It's a process that you get basically these special runes, like here on your face. And you get these other runes, and it just kind of changes you into this like monastic being. So even though his mouth isn't shut, he's not necessarily, like, his personality is a little bit different. Like, he's a little bit more detached. He's not, like, as inclined to speak. Normally.
Okay.
And those runes are, like, how they get the knowledge and how they're able to use magic a little bit differently. So he has transformed. That's Jem, but not Jem. We'll get into, like, what he looks like. But he's a little bit different, but he's not, like, stitched. Or anything like that. Tessa is taken away again.
Okay.
She's taken away again. I am kind of sick of her ass at this point.
Like, why are you always getting kidnapped?
It's...
What was the training for?
Right. She's
Who
always
takes her?
The head demon automaton guy.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna torture you because I'm allowed to. Because she's like, you're not allowed to kill me. Mortman needs me alive. And he said, well, not unharmed, though. So he takes her away. Cecily, the sister, realizes we are outnumbered. We are outgunned. We need a way to retreat. Because even though they're not impossible to kill, if there are enough of them, then, you know, it can be hard to overpower them. So they need a way to retreat, but without Henry, they're stuck. They need him for the portal. They're stuck.
He's cracked over in the corner.
They're stuck in Wales. But luckily, Henry, he was alive. Magnus is able to kind of wake him up, but he is now paralyzed from the waist down.
Damn.
Using some device that Henry made, they're able to start to get away, but Mortman makes his grand entrance with Tessa in tow. So I guess the demon didn't torture her because, girl, I don't know. At this point, they're so, as much as, again, I love this book so much, there are some things where I do think that Cassandra Clare really just wanted the relationships to be the focus, but she had to have these other plot things. So it moves a little bit quickly and in such a way that, again, you can't poke holes in it.
Okay. Open heart.
So Mortman offers a deal to Tessa to stop killing Shadowhunters if he can keep the crew plus Will and Jem prisoner in the caves with her to keep her obedient to him, which she agrees to because she's like, if I don't, then he's gonna kill them right away.
Okay.
As the demon is handing her over to Mortman, she holds her angel necklace and shifts into the angel that's inside of it. And she basically becomes humanoid heavenly fire and grows to like a biblically accurate giant angel size.
Awesome.
Like with all the people she changes changes into she sort of became this angel, and he speaks through her and kills Mortman for imprisoning him and trying to create life, aka usurping heaven. Mortman's death is described as his body turning to jelly.
Oh, all right.
And since the demon automaton's lives were tied to his, they instantly die. So, it's over.
Wait, why were the demon automaton's lives tied to his?
So that they wouldn't try to kill him. Because
they're just killing anybody?
Because they're, yeah.
Okay.
That's why he set them loose on the village. And
Okay.
when Tessa was like, make them stop, he was like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to listen to me.
They're literally just murder
they'll only
blocks.
listen to me within reason, because they're what's inside of them is demon.
Right.
With wishes of their own. So he had to tie their life to his so that they wouldn't have any ideas about just killing him and being free in their new automaton bodies.
So they all die.
But he made the mistake of telling Tessa this. And when he's monologuing to Tessa, he brags about the fact that his life is tied to his. So that's how she knew to do that.
Dummy.
So anyway, the big fight is over. The main villain of the entire series is dead pretty quickly.
Yay.
So
how far through the book does this happen?
Pretty far in the book.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of Will being on the road. There are just so many characters doing different things that it takes up time. So Tessa found it really difficult to change back into a human after
because the angel's so powerful.
Being an angel, right, like she should have died, but because the angel was tasked with protecting her, it also couldn't kill her, and that's what protected her. So she is unwell for quite some time. So while she's out, the rest of the crew is dealing with the aftermath of everything.
Yeah.
Now, the government's in disarray, just everything.
Sure.
Everything is fucked. So the Silent Brothers decide that Tessa, who we've spent this whole series being the Silent Brothers being like, we don't know what you are. They decide that she is a new kind of shadow hunter because shadow hunter blood is dominant.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Will is dealing with the fact that while Jem is alive, he's brother Zachariah now.
Wait.
It's like when you're the Pope and your name is changed and you're not who you were before.
And they picked Zachariah.
Yeah, I don't know if he picked it or if it was assigned to him. And Brother Zachariah is a recurring character in the rest of the main series.
Okay.
So Brother Zachariah.
And that's Jem.
That's Jem.
That's Jem Carstairs.
That's
Jem Carstairs.
Jem
brother
Carstairs
Zachariah.
Is now Brother Zachariah. So
that's Brother Zachariah to you.
Right.
Okay.
Since he's not Jem, his transformation made his responsibility is to the Silent Brothers, not Will.
And that's why Will felt the tattoo faded and why he felt pain.
Yeah.
Because the bond
ritual
is broken.
Mm-hmm. So sending Jem to become a Silent Brother or die trying was the crew's last ditch effort while Will was on the road.
Okay. Yeah, because didn't he, 2 minutes before Will left, he was like, I'd literally rather die than become a Silent Brother?
He told Tessa that earlier in the book. He didn't want to be a Silent Brother because, A, he didn't think it was going to be possible because of the demon drug. He thought that basically the demon drug would have to be fully out of his system for the runes to work. And if that's out of his system, then he's dead.
Right.
So he was like, that's not really going to work. And also Silent Brothers can't marry. And he wanted to be married.
But now that he knows that Will can marry Tessa, he's like, all right.
I guess so, yeah. We never see that conversation. We don't know that this even it's a shock to Will and us, the reader, when he spots Will. So we don't know that any of this happened. So Charlotte is offered the position of consul, which she says she'll accept if she can govern from the Institute for a few years so that she can train Will to one day lead the London Institute.
Oh, wow.
Tessa is being tormented by guilt and sadness about Jem while stuck in her fevers from the angel fires. So the guilt is
Did she see Jem? That Jem's alive?
Yeah.
Okay. So then wait, what is she? Oh, she's crashing out because he's alive.
Yeah, and the guilt is kind of keeping her from getting better. It's kind of keeping her in her she's just in a bad mental state. So one of the things a shadow hunter has to do before becoming a Silent Brother is sever all bonds to the mortal world, which he hadn't done with Tessa or Will, to be honest. Will convinces Charlotte to demand that he come do this for Tessa in hopes that it'll make her better.
What does that mean?
Just to have that closure conversation.
Oh, not like a rune that severs their emotional bond. Just like a, hey, I'm not.
Because Will and Jem got to have that when it was presumed that Jem was going to die.
Yeah.
They had that conversation, but Tessa didn't have that. So he does come and he has some medicine to kind of help her get to to a neutral state where she can actually speak, and explains what happened to him.
Not so silent now, brother.
Yeah, and he's speaking, but she's very much like, you're a gem, but you're not as you were. He's just a little bit just like detached. His personality's not the same as it was. On top of what we already know, he tells Tessa that the reason that he decided to be a silent brother when given the opportunity was that he didn't fear death, but he feared abandoning her and Will. So this was his only option. The conversation is a little hard for him since it's a reminder that he never got to be married to her. And he never will be, since silent brothers can't marry. He's very hung up on that. He tells her that he...
Can they do other things?
I think in this sense, because marriage and sex were so one and the same, kind of. I always assume that in these conversations where they're talking about marriage, that's...
the stand-in.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, they didn't go hand in hand for Will.
He tells her that he knows about Will's feelings for her and the conversation that he and Will had. And she starts to feel that she needs to confess that she and Will slept together. She doesn't, though. She tells him that she loves him, but she also does tell him that she loves Will just as much, which he understands completely. But he also sort of indicates, without saying it, but she knows that this is what he means. Please do not tell me what you and Will did. Being like, I can assume that something might have happened. Don't tell me about it.
Okay.
So she does it. Although they won't...
Alright, I guess this is not going to be a throuple situation.
Although they won't be able to see much of each other again, because again, he's not supposed to maintain relationships from his mortal life, they agree that once a year, they're going to meet on that bridge that he took her to. That was his favorite bridge.
Okay.
For 1 hour a year. And it's a secret. So, because it's technically not allowed. So she knows, and then he also tells Will. So before leaving, Jem goes to speak with Will, who's still upset that Jem, because after the battle, Jem just leaves. Will was like, oh my god, you're alive.
That's
and
Jem.
And Jem just pieces out with the rest of the Silent Brothers. He's also upset just with the situation that Jem is not dead, but he's still severed from him and effectively gone from his life.
Yeah.
Will says, all my life since I came to the Institute, you were the mirror of my soul. I saw the good in me and you. When you are gone from me, who will see me like that? And Jem responds, have faith in yourself. You can be your own mirror. After Jem leaves, the romance doesn't really come back until quite a few weeks later.
Between her and Will.
Between her and Will, because they're just kind of working through their grief. Happened. They're working through their grief because now that they've both had these conversations, Will is finally able, and Tessa is safe, Will is finally able to deal with his parabatai, his soul, his kind of soulmate being gone from his life. But it doesn't come back until a bit later, and then when it does, Will tries to properly court her, like taking her on tours and doing all these, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, can you please be normal? He's like, I'm trying to do everything right and court you, and she's like, that's not who you are. So this is very strange to me. So one night she hears something at her bedroom door, very reminiscent of, I think, the last book, where she opens the door and there's a book laying there, and it's
A Tale of Two Cities.
A Tale of Two Cities.
Didn't he already give her one?
No, the book that he'd given her was just a recommendation from him, where he was like, if you need something to read, I'm really enjoying this one right now. So on the title page, just like in that one where he'd written a poem, in this one he had written a letter, which I will read since you were like, why didn't you read the poem? Because I didn't
get the poem.
Inside the book it says, Tessa, was there ever a more beautiful sound than your name? To speak it aloud makes my heart ring like a bell. Why have I written these words in this book? Because of you. You taught me to love this book where I had scorned it. When I read it for the second time...
Wait, I thought he was obsessed with it.
He liked talking about it and he could talk about it, but he at first was like, he related a lot to one of the guys in it who is evil.
Okay.
When I read it for the second time with an open mind and heart, I felt the most complete despair and envy of Sidney Carton. For even if he had no hope that the woman he loved would love him, at least he could do something to prove his passion, even if that thing was to to die. I would have chosen death for a chance to tell you the truth, Tessa, if I could have been assured that death would be my own, and that is why I envied Sydney, for he was free. And now at last I am free. You were not the last dream of my soul, you were the first dream, the only dream I ever was unable to stop myself from dreaming. So he tells her later that he wrote that right after he found out the truth about his curse, and he was going to give it to her, but then...
And then he found out about the Jem engagement.
So sometime later, could be weeks or months, I'm not sure, is the Enclave's annual Christmas party. It's unclear what month we were in prior to that, so I'm not sure how long it's been since the book. But Charlotte decides that since she's the consul, she and Henry's baby will have her last name. Very timely conversation, which Henry is fine with because he loves Charlotte. And so whatever idea she has, he thinks is great. So,
great.
Jem's uncle comes from Idris and tries to give Will a gift he'd hoped to give Jem, but now obviously can't, and Will rejects it. It's a historical and famous Shadowhunter sword called Cortana, which means nothing to you, but if you've read the trilogy after the main series, it will mean a lot. One thing about Will that has not been important at all to mention until right now is that he can see ghosts.
Oh, okay.
I'm mentioning this now because a certain ghost comes to tell him a Merry Christmas. Jessamine. Since she died at the Institute, or on the property, and in life didn't wish to be a shadow hunter, she's charged to guard the Institute for as long as it needs guarding, which feels crazy.
That does feel crazy.
But she doesn't mind because she's like, I don't want to pass over anyway. I want to chill, and I don't know if people are going to be demanding things of me in the afterlife like they did in this life. So, because Will also has that reaction. He's like, okay, how do you feel about that? And she's fine with it.
That feels mean. Who sentenced her to that?
Unclear.
Okay.
This is just what she tells Will. I mean, who sentenced Marley to wander forever in the Christmas Carol? She's like, I cannot watch you take Tessa on another carriage ride. You need to propose to her. And Will is like, but I'm scared. What if she doesn't love me back?
She definitely does.
Because up at this point, Tessa has not said the words, I love you, so he just is choosing to believe that she must hate him. But he does propose to her, and she does say yes, and that she loves him.
Okay.
So, yeah. Tessa and Will, and then Cecily and Gabriel, they portal to Wales.
Okay.
To introduce their respective lovers to their parents.
All right. Big day for those parents.
Epilogue.
Okay.
2008.
So that's how it ends. Is they're like, let's take the portal to Wales.
That's how the main story ends, with Will's reunion with his parents, who he hasn't seen since he was 12.
Okay. Aww.
And Cecily returning after running away.
All right.
So, epilogue. 2008.
That's a big time jump.
Mm-hmm. Tessa is on her way to Blackfriars Bridge, that bridge, looking to be a girl in her late teens or early 20s. She is wearing a bracelet that Will gave her for their 30th anniversary. And while he had gray in his hair, she always only saw him as the boy she fell in love with, as if her powers of immortality were granted in her vision of him.
Wait, okay, hold on. So he aged.
Yeah,
and
he was a human, and she was that. Yes.
Sorry, I just wasn't picturing that fate for them.
Yep.
Okay.
Girl, she talked about it so many times.
I guess I just figured that he would figure something out.
No. So Cecily and her now husband Gabriel were with them the day that Will died. It was June 1937, and we learned that she and Will had children, which their first child was named James in honor of Jem.
Right.
And Jem was the silent brother to conduct the child's first ruining ceremony.
Okay.
During his life, Will became a respected shadow hunter historian and had written several books on the subject and continued to write bad poetry. So at this point in the book, I have here, it was hard to write this part because the tears in my eyes were making me, it was hard to see.
Okay.
Right? Because at this point, we are essentially eulogizing Will, if you'll notice. Will finally passes with Tessa... Sorry, this part is so hard.
Okay.
Will finally passes with Tessa laying in bed beside him, listening to his heartbeat fade as they whispered the stories that only they knew, like when he rescued her from the mansion or when they were on the balcony at Benedict Lightwood's party. Jem / Brother Zachariah came, and for the first time since he wrote that song for Tessa, he played the violin.
Aww.
For Will on his deathbed. Then she hears Jem's voice in both their minds. I take your hand, brother, so that you may go in peace.
Aww.
After the song, Will finally passes.
How old is he at this point?
I mean, 30 old. Like, probably close to 100.
Okay. Sort of a reverse Edward Cullen and Bella situation.
Once Will died, Tessa essentially left the family since her children were grown and had children of their own, and she told herself that they'd be fine without her. But the truth was that she just could not experience what she had just experienced. She could not experience being there and witnessing herself outlive a loved one ever again. Afterwards, she spent some time with Magnus, who helped her heal since he obviously knew what she was going through. Back to Blackfriars Bridge, 2008. Tessa is there for her annual meeting with Jem, as they had for the last 130 years.
Sure.
Over those 130 years, he had been much more. He'd become more and more of a silent brother. Still did not have his mouth stitched shut, but at that point, he was not speaking verbally anymore. It was all telepathically.
He went nonverbal, got it.
The person who shows up this time, though, was real Jem. Now with black hair and brown eyes, free of the demon drug.
Whoa.
Things occurred at the end of the last book of the main series that made him unsilent brothered. I don't exactly remember what happened, but just things occurred.
Right, because 2008, we're past...
2008, we're in a point of the main series.
Yes. Okay.
So he's now a person, and he's normal and healthy. But he doesn't know how to be a shadow hunter without Will. So he's not necessarily running back to an institute. So he and Tessa confirm that they still love each other, and they decide that this is their chance to
be together. Is he immortal?
No. So she knows.
So she's gonna do this whole thing over again.
So she tells herself, what a privilege to be in love twice, even though I'll lose him. She's like, I'll deal with it later, and that's it.
Okay, so on the one level, beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful. You can live again.
You can.
I'm really hung up on these men are aging and she still looks 17.
No, she aged a little bit until like adulthood. It
Okay.
specifically says that she looks like she's in like her 20s.
Okay. It is still sort of
and it's,
the visual I don't love. I feel like that sort of gives me pause. I mean, love their love. Happy for them.
It's one of those things that, yeah, when you're 16 and you read it, you're like, that's
no,
crazy.
that's so, it's beautiful.
Sad.
It is so beautiful. My second, or I guess my third, it's not a hang up, but like, does Will pass on, or is he sort of like, I'm thinking about Jessamine.
He's not a ghost. He did fully pass on.
Okay. Yeah. We know this to be true?
We know this to be true, I believe, either in the main series or the trilogy after. I think in the trilogy after, because Tessa, in the trilogy after, she is a recurring character. And they do talk about that, where Tessa had continually asked, like, this psychic character of, like, is Will here? Is Will here? Can I talk to him? And she's like, no, girl.
Will's moved on.
Will lived a very happy life and passed on.
Yeah, he did not have unfinished business. Well, because I was going to say, like, was his unfinished business to see his bestie and his girl finally get to be together.
No, so it's really, Jem...
marriage.
Jem does make an appearance in the next trilogy too, not quite as prominently as Tessa. Jem, they're just like, yeah, Jem is her husband. And Jem is the ancestor of the main character of that trilogy, who has the sword.
Right.
So, I do know that in the trilogy that's getting published...
Oh my god, I forgot there's more of them.
There's a final one. I believe there is a plot point about Tessa and Jem. Because I remember in the third book of that trilogy, something is wrong with Jem. And Tessa and them are trying to get answers about it. They're very vague about it.
All right.
Because the main characters in that trilogy are other 17-year-olds, and Tessa and Jem are seen as, like, real adults.
Yeah. I feel like, let's make him immortal. Come on. Tessa can't do that again.
I know, or I don't know if it's gonna be there was still some demon drug left in him, so that's affecting him. Unsure.
But his hair is black. Can't be that.
I know.
All right.
So that's it. What are your thoughts? Because I have my thoughts after reading this.
I guess I see what you're saying about how like it's a satisfying love triangle, and I was really not. I understand you mentioned it multiple times. The him aging and being super old and her being in her 20s. Obviously she's not, but just like it's really getting me. And the thought of her being like round 2, let's do it again, let's run it back.
Yeah.
Is quite a bit for me to take in. Happy for them, I think. Happy for Tessa. Love their love. Those are my thoughts and feelings.
This was the first time that I had read these books this closely.
Yeah.
And I think I told you the other day where I was like, I'm feeling fatigued from the Shadowhunter universe at this point, because it really is. If you read it too closely, then you're like, I'm annoyed at these people.
Yeah.
I remember Tessa was never my favorite character, but I'm really
this time around.
By the end, I was like, girl, what? She just keeps getting whisked away.
Yeah.
That's kind of a recurring thing through the whole series. That's how her story starts, is getting kidnapped.
She's not a very active participant, it seems.
No.
Things are sort of happening to her.
Exactly. I think it's a case where it's maybe clear who Cassandra Clare's favorite character was, and I think her favorite character was Will Herondale, because I think he got the biggest character arc throughout the whole series, and little things that didn't make sense. So I would recommend not reading a nostalgic YA mid-2000s series too closely, otherwise it's just gonna piss you off. So
did the romance at least hit for you all the same? The love triangle?
In a way that I don't know if it would have hit the same if I was reading it for the first time at this age, but I think because I was
the
reading
nostalgia.
Yeah, I was reading things and remembering how I felt reading that for the first time. And obviously, you know, the epilogue I think really hit for me. As I said, I was weeping.
I love an epilogue. I'll cry at the epilogue of, like, if it's like even a little bit emo, I'll cry.
Yeah. Overall, I'm glad we did it. I'm glad you know now.
Now I know.
Now I can talk about it.
And now you know, if you didn't already.
That concludes season 1. Stay tuned for what our next series will be. We're thinking something like a vampire collection, because it is vampire summer.
It's vampire summer. That's what we've dubbed it. Well, that's what Lestat told us.
Always open to suggestions, so shoot us a DM on the Instagram account if you have any suggestions, and we will make a list for those. So that is all. Thank you so much for watching or listening. And we will see you
soon
with season 2.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.